there's receiving inspection requirements. So we have to go through and look at the items that are critical to the quality of the product, and through a risk analysis decide, should we be inspecting this on receipt, or can it go right into stock? And in general, for product resources, it's kind of a hybrid of that. Custom parts always come through incoming inspection until the supplier is qualified, and then depending upon the risk level, those parts, when they come in, can go directly into stock. For riskier parts, we'll always do an inspection. If the supplier has sent us a shipment and there were some parts in it that didn't meet spec, well, maybe they're back on probation and now we're inspecting everything as it comes in again, just, until they get it under control. We also need assembly documentation as part of the instructions, not on this is what parts go into what you're building, but now the assembly documentation tells you how to put them together. If there's a flow to the assembly, if it's a pile of parts and it doesn't matter what order you put them together in, you can be a little more loose, but most times there's a flow. Do this first, then do that. Are there torque specifications for the fasteners? Are there any adhesives or lubrication required when you put it together? How clean does it need to be? And you could argue that, well, every product has got to be clean, but there's clean as in debris-free and neat and no oil on the parts and stuff like that. But then there's, say, analytically clean, because you're going to be using in a chemical analysis instrument. So it has to be much cleaner. A fingerprint on it would ruin the part. So it's got to be cleaned within an inch of its life, and then it's got to be handled so that it maintained clean. Cleanliness also has to do with dust and stuff like that's in the part. Do we need to use a float bench? Does it need to be built in a clean room? Those questions need to be asked up front, and then the process is put in place to make sure we can maintain the environment, the cleanliness, and all of that stuff for the part.